Hi everybody, welcome back to some more Project Cars 2 here on this channel. I'm KPG-GOONER here. Now in today's episode we've got two more races in the Porsche Cayman European Cup. Hopefully we can get some more decent results before we move on to the next championship. I hope you're enjoying the full career walkthrough here on this channel. Please smash that like button, leave your comments in the tab below and subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Right, let's get straight into qualifying, so here we go. Right, so that's that qualifying session out the way. It wasn't the greatest. We only got 11th place in that qualifying session. It's going to be a real tough race. Really off the pace, to be honest. Over a second off the fastest time. We're going to have to do a lot better in the race. So let's just get straight into it and hope for a really good start. So here we go. Right, so here we go with the first race in today's episode. We really need to get a good start here. 11th on the grid wasn't great from qualifying, but hopefully we can rectify that in the race. But it's not going to be easy going into that first turn as well, which is going to be really tight. Right, let's just try and get a good start here. We'll try and weave through a few cars. Oh God, that car just gave us a bit of a love tap, just letting us know where he is. Right, let's just try and line it down the inside here. Slow it down, slow it down. Oh God, loads of contact, loads of cars bundling into that turn, but that wasn't too bad. Oh my God, that car just wiped out 4 cars. That blue car just came straight across and wiped him out, and he really gave us a gift. Oh my God, and we're up to P3. I'll take that all day long. We could have been amongst that, but luckily we went right in the inside and we avoided that. But there you go, that is really worked out nicely for us. Right, so let's try and settle in. We're sitting in 3rd position and see if we can get on the podium at least. But the one thing I was finding with this car, guys, in qualifying is it just doesn't have the grip in certain areas. 1 minute it feels really grippy, and others the grip just goes away. I don't know what it is with this car, but I'm trying my best with it. It's not the quickest, I must admit. Oh, nicely through that turn, and it should be able to slip past that car nicely. They just don't seem to be very quick through that second to last turn, and I was taking advantage of that in qualifying, but it's just other areas of the circuit where I was struggling in, and I just couldn't gain that extra second to be challenging for the top spot in qualifying. But we're in 2nd position, so let's just try and settle in and see if we can just keep up with this car in front. It's this turn, I just don't seem to have the speed round it. It doesn't want to accelerate, it just pulls you to the left all the time. You have to keep racking up and down the gears, and I don't like the protection on the engine on this as well, where you can only change gear at certain speeds as well. It's like you're going mental on the paddle shifter to get it down to 2nd gear when you want to go into the corner, and it just stays into the 3rd gear, and it's really annoying. There's not much, it's very quiet changing into the gears as well. Sometimes if you're not taking note of what gear you're in, it just throw you out a bit, where you think you're in 2nd and you're not, you're still in 3rd. Oh, it's just a nightmare. But we're trying to battle with it, and we're losing pace with this car, but that's the turn where I know that I got a little bit more pace, and we've got to take advantage of it. Right, not quite sure whether I should be in 2nd or 3rd for that last turn. I was just mixing it up in qualifying, and I don't think I was quick whatever I did through there, but we will try and just push. Right, so we're into the 3rd lap. These are quick laps, so we're going to have to really just try and keep pace and try and stay off those curbs. A couple of times I went round there and caught the curb, and I was on 2 wheels round that corner. I was going to actually take a photo of that and use it for the thumbnail, but I decided against it. But yeah, I had it on 2 wheels a couple of times. But yeah, you've got to be careful, because this car really does feel the curbs, and it does spin up a little bit as well. So we've got to be good, and we're the fastest at that sector, so we are having steady progress. If that car in front hits the sort of times he was hitting in qualifying, we're not going to get anywhere near it. But I'm finding that the AI don't always race the same pace as they do in qualifying, but that's understandable, because in the race obviously you've got a little bit more tyre wear, and he's probably not going to get any slipstream when he's leading. There's all other factors and reasons why they don't race the same pace, and plus the temperatures probably changed as well. So notice the tyre temperatures were different at the start of the race as they were in qualifying. So all these factors do count to it, but we will try. We are trying to push it. We're halfway through this race, and we're still not getting anywhere near this car. He seems to be a lot quicker through this section. This is where we've got to gain on it. Oh, that was a little bit better, and we just gained a little bit of time on him. Tried to push, but this is where he accelerates away through that section there. Just don't seem to have the acceleration. Right, let's just try and slow it down. into second gear, trying to get that front end turned in. I mean, I'm using the gears mainly to turn the front end in. It's really hard to go around this car, these corners in third gear, although I find that if you do keep it in third, you seem to carry a little bit more speed through the turn. It's really odd, but we will try and just hold it through here, keep it on the curbs. Oh God, really almost pulled me out right there, and we're trying to gain a little bit of time. Right, we should take a bit more speed through there. Awesome. Can we get past him here? Oh, I think we're going to be able to take him. Oh, yes, we do. Fantastic. So we're into the lead. Oh my God, he almost got past in that turn. He's really pushing hard here on this 7th lap. He's trying so hard to get past. I'm trying to be as defensive as possible, but I've dropped off the pace so much, and he is upped his level. Why didn't he do this when I overtook him? The last couple of laps, he's been right on it. Right, we've managed to get away again, but he always seems to catch up at the early stages in the lap. Right, we're going into the final lap of the race. It hasn't been the greatest race. It started off okay, and then we had that section where we got past him and he just dropped off, and then the last couple of laps he's back on it again. Just not very consistent in this race, but let's just try and hold it and make sure that we bring the victory home. And let's see if we can just hold it into this turn. This is where he gained the time in the last lap, and then he started to put me under real pressure. No, we've managed to put away this time. Oh, that's going to give us some breathing space through this corner. He tried to come around the outside. It was unreal. He had that much grip and pace around that turn, because I struggle around that one. Right, holding it into this turn, still holding him off, and accelerate. Oh God, don't lose the front end. Just feeling a lack of grip, although it doesn't look like there's much tyre wear on the symbols. It definitely feels like it hasn't got as much grip as it had at the start of the race. And last couple of turns, and we should take the victory, and we move on to the final race in this European Cup in the Porsche Cayman. And I think there's another championship after this one, but we will get into that at the end of the episode. So there we go, we take victory in this race, and that gives us really good points in the championship. But that was a real battle, and yeah, they weren't as quick. I hit a 108 and they hit a 109. That is really odd. They're so much slower in the race. But yep, that was a good battle. Right, so we move on to the next race. So here we go, guys. Right, so here we go with the final race in the Porsche Cayman European Cup, and we're in the Czech Republic for Brno. Now, this is a circuit I do love, but the last time I raced it was on a MotoGP bike, so this should be interesting. So let's just get straight into the qualifying. Oh my dear Lord, again, miles off the pace. They're so much quicker. 12th position this time. It's going to be another hard-fought race. Let's just get straight into it and just hope for the best. Right, so here we go with a race around the Brno circuit in the Czech Republic. We really need to get a good start here and take a few places off the grid. We start in 12th, so we've got to make some ground. So off we go. It's a nice wide circuit, so we should be able to just steam through the middle and take a few places. That seems to work nicely. The AI are so slow off the mark, and you've got to take advantage of that. So that's not too bad. Into this first right-hander. Oh God, that car went straight across the front of us, but we managed to avoid contact, and we're up to P5. So that's not the worst start, but we've got to try and hold on to it and push as much as we can. Right, let's just try and stick with these cars in front, and hopefully throughout the race we might be able to nick a couple of more places, but it's not going to be easy. Right, let's slow it down into this turn. Oh, got a bit of contact between the three in front. Let's try and take a nice turn. Got a good drive through there. Can we dive up the inside and take another place? Oh, no, got sandwiched. And that car, the number 49, took his position back. Well, I managed to gain one position, but yeah, he was having none of that. And I do like the fact the AI on this game do battle with you a lot more, and that showed there. He was having none of that. I tried to sneak through the middle, got completely sandwiched, but we came out of it okay. We gained one position, so I will take that. Right, let's try and latch onto this car in front, and maybe we can get another opportunity to get past him. It's going to be a real battle, because in that qualifying session, the one thing I was finding, I was struggling to find other cars to gain a slipstream off in the qualifying session. But when I did have cars with me in the qualifying session, I felt like I was keeping up with them, so I couldn't understand why my times were so much slower. Now, I think my qualifying time was 2 minutes 12 something. and that was only fast enough for 12, but I reckon I could do 2:11. Although I don't think that's going to be quick enough to beat the car that's leading the race, because he was getting close to the 2:10. So yeah, I don't know where he was finding that sort of time from, but there you go. That was the pace that they were sitting at, and that's where you've got to try and raise your level. But I just don't seem to be able to push this car much more than what I am. I really would have to look at the setup, so hopefully we can do that in the next championship, because on the setup I'm using at the moment it's not working. I don't have that edge, just don't seem to be quick around certain corners on the circuit. But I'm going to try and push as much as I can, and we're losing ground on the car in front already, and that's just not very good. So we're going to have to up it in these next 3 laps and see if we can close the gap. I think a 3rd place finish would be an awesome result if we could get it. So that's just aim for that. Right, let's try and hold it through that turn. Now we managed to get a good drive through this next left-hander. Let's see if we can do that again and close the gap. But they're at a decent pace. So we've got to really find that time from somewhere. Right, hold it into that turn. Keep it nice and tight. And just keep an eye on the car behind me, because he's quite close behind as well. Let's try and hold that tighter line. That's not too bad. And it's these sort of corners where I've got to gain the time. This is where I was losing it in the qualifying session. Right, let's try and hold it into this turn. But I am glad that it is not a wet race. I think a wet race around here would have been really awful. Probably wouldn't have been as competitive either. Right, this is where I seem to lose the grip. Really can't accelerate round there onto the curb, and that's where they pull away again. Right, let's try and get a little bit tighter into this turn, and this is where this car feels really stiff as you change direction. The weight transfer, it just feels as stiff as hell. Definitely going to have to play with the suspension settings. It doesn't feel right, and it does seem to cost us a lot of time. But I am trying to push this car as much as I can. Let's see if we can get a little bit tighter into this turn. This is one of the hardest turns on a motorbike around here. Really difficult into that corner. It just seems to lose the back end on the motorbike around that turn. But it doesn't feel too bad in the car. Right, let's try and hold it nice and tight here. Right onto the apex. And again, trying to get a good drive up the hill. Trying to get nice and tight. And we're still not gaining much time on the car in front. But hopefully our time will be quicker. So we hit, I think, a 2:12.4 in qualifying, I think. If we can better that time. Oh God, almost went straight into the cones then. Trying to hold that inside line. Oh my God. Really struggled there. And over the finish line. Let's see what time we get here. And so that was around our qualifying time. So we haven't improved yet. But we've got 2 more laps to go. Can we just up our level a little bit more? Right, let's try and hold a tighter line here. And just try and push this car as much as we can. Really need to hold the speed a little bit more into the turn. Now the car leading the race is just disappearing. I don't know what sort of times he must be doing. 2:10s. He must be absolutely ripping it, and we are not going to get anywhere near that. Right, let's just try and hold it a bit tighter into this turn. No, we're down on that last split time. Really struggling. Just can't seem to push it anymore. But we will try it. We will keep on going. Got to just keep on pushing and pushing as much as you can. Right, hold it into that corner. Let's try and hold it a little bit tighter here. Just try and be careful we don't hit any of those bollards or the tyres. I hit them a couple of times in the qualifying session. I don't want to do that again. I actually blew the engine in qualifying. I don't know how I managed to do it. Just overheated for some reason. I did, what, 4 laps, and then it kept on telling me that my engine was going to overheat, and then it blew up. So hopefully that doesn't happen in a race. I don't know whether that was down to the temperature. I'm not sure. I didn't make any adjustments, and it hasn't given me any warnings yet. So hopefully that's not going to be an issue. And we are slightly up on the time. Let's see if we can just push it a little bit more through this next turn. And yes, we are slightly up on the time. So this is our best lap so far. Trying to hold it through here. And, oh God, just missed the tyres there. Kept it nice and tight. Right, drive up the hill. We've got to now these last 2 corners. And hopefully we can push a little bit harder into that final lap. We're getting a little bit closer to the car in front. So we are starting to improve. which is good, and we're almost a second up on our time. Oh, this is a brilliant lap. Really improved here. Right over the finish line. What time are we going to get? And yes, we just hit a 2:11. That is the fastest lap that we have done. Brilliant. So if we had hit that sort of time in qualifying, we would have probably have got maybe in the top 5 of the fastest time. So that is a massive improvement. So we have shown some ground in this race, but we still got one more lap to go. Can we push it a little bit more? We have got the car in front in sight. He might be a little bit too far away, but you never know. Just try and carry a little bit more speed. We might be able to improve on that lap even more. And we're up on the time again, so we are starting to show some pace. Oh, this is awesome. Really trying to push this car now. We've got that car in our sights now, and I've got the bit between my teeth, and I'm going to push to the end. Right, just trying to hold it into this turn. Just try and keep it nice and tight. No, it's just thrown us out to the left, onto the curb. That's not what I wanted. Just try and hold it nice and tight into that turn. And again, this one, come on. We can do this. If we can just get a little bit closer into those last few corners, we might be able to nick 3rd place, and that would be awesome. Right, oh no, that just cost us. That sent us out a little bit wider. Right, trying to hold it nice and tight. Again, oh, really struggling onto the curb. Oh my god, this car is not liking this. I am literally throwing it into the turns and trying just to gain every bit of second and time that I can. Right into this turn, just trying to keep it nice and tight. We're getting really close to this car, but I don't think it's going to be enough. We're running out of corners here. Just try and hold the speed through this turn, and we're down on our time, so this hasn't been a faster lap than the previous, which is a bit frustrating. Oh god, almost hit the tyres there, trying to carry the speed through there, and that is about it, guys. It looks like it's going to be a 4th place finish. Excuse me. I've tried so hard, and I'm actually sweating here. I've really tried to push this car as much as I can, and I just haven't managed to do it. We had one decent lap on that 3rd lap, but then we just couldn't maintain the pace, and we're going to take 4th position. Right, let's have a look at the lap times. Let's see how fast that car that won the race was going. Oh, we did a 2:10. There you go. We were nowhere near that pace, but we were faster than the 2 cars in front. It's such a shame that we left it so late to start pushing that car, but I did try my best. I hope you enjoyed this championship, guys. Now we're going to check out what's coming next. There's another championship in this car. Let's see what circuits that's going to be. So here we go. Right guys, so in the next episode we're going to be tackling the International Cup in the Porsche Cayman, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the shorter championship, and we're going to do all 3 races in the next episode. It should be a really interesting one, because as you saw, really struggled in that last race, so I'm going to have to up my level. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and I will see you very soon.